Yeah, that's actually crazy how blue the green is.
Yeah.
Like the blue, the gold. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Right, what's happening guys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be a fun video. Obviously, we're off the back of putting up what happened to the 930. You have no idea how nervous I was about putting this video up to the internet. I was like, oh my God, do I need to show this? Do I really need to tell the internet how much of a twat I am? Is this a cautionary tale? Will this help somebody in the future? I don't know. Actually turned out to be a really good thing because I had loads of feedback. I've gone through loads of the comments and 99.9% of the comments were super positive, people telling stories, making me feel just, and I'm only saying, a small bit better about what I did. But look, hey, it's out there into the world now and we're getting on with it. So today we're gonna go over and see the 930 because we're gonna be putting the first layers of paint out on it. So that's really exciting. But we're gonna take a quick look back before we do that at my E21 because we've got to talk about the true cost of what it actually costs to restore a car these days. Because when I did this back when I was 20, ooh, major myself here, 23, 24, things cost a lot less. Come on. So I'm gonna pull a chair up. So we've got to talk about my old 1983. Now, I've had this car for over 10 years now. I got it when I was 21 years old. She was obviously like henna rot. This is a paint color which is infamous for going orange, like it goes patchy, like red just seems to suffer, especially on these old cars. So I knew as soon as I got it that I wanted to get it resprayed. However, I was 22. I had absolutely not a pot to piss in. So getting a car resprayed was possibly one of the most frightening things that I'd ever done. But I knew it was going to be worth it in the end. So this car actually, from memory, because the guy who painted it actually used the original lead-based paint because I wanted that really deep, really rich color, one that every time you go over it with a detailer, if you have it, you know, two-stepped, it still comes up perfect every time. That paint was a type of paint, not water-based like a lot of the new paints are, and I wanted him to do it in that particular paint. This is what I've got. Now, I think at the time, from what I can remember, because it was absolutely every scrap of money I had in the world, it was about $5 grand. And I think he did me a deal at that. So we took all the paint off the entire car and started again. But I mean, the fact that even after all these years, I mean, I've had this car, like I said, for 10 years. And every time I come in here, like the fact, I mean, I keep it clean whilst I'm in here. This thing comes up perfect every single time. Like you just cannot fault the finish on it. It's mint. And that's what the 930 is going to be about. I think it's the ultimate labor of love with a classic car is to respray it because, you know, you take it back to the bare metal. If there ever was anything down the car, any pinpricks in the original paint, any little door dents, any slight imperfections down it, you can literally start again. And when a classic car is finished like this, it just feels amazing. It feels brand new, but you've still got that vintage old school feel. And that's why I always have the E21. Now, I had this as my daily when I was living in London. I lived in London for about 7 years. I was living in E1, and this was my daily ride. And over the years, a couple of things happened to it. I mean, there was a cyclist that managed to absolutely destroy one of the rear arches because the pedal, as he went past, scraped into the rear arch. I'll always remember the noise of it because I was like, oh my God, I'm pretty sure that guy's just scraped his pedal. And it was like a perfectly circular mark, like scratch through down to the metal, which I was gutted about. So I had to have the rear arch blown in. But again, same guy did it. And I swear to God, you literally look down the car and it's absolutely mint. So I was thinking about getting the wheels refinished on the 930. That's still a conversation that is happening in real time. At the moment, they're the Kinesis wheels and they're body colored centers with polished lips. Now, if you know anything about polished wheels, you have to keep on top of them. Like you have to keep on top of them. Otherwise they go milky, they pit, they can be a bit of a pain. Like at one point I had 9s on the front, 10s on the rear here. I had a 2-inch step lip on these because these are my BBS RSs. Now, I remember buying these wheels. I actually bought them off a friend of a friend who had them originally on a G60 Rally. Then they went on to a Mark II Golf, and then they came to my E21. Now, these are quite a rare wheel. The RS073s are actually 15-inch 30-bolt centers stacked to a 16, but from factory. So you can get many different iterations of these wheels. Like some people step them up like 1 inch, half-inch dish, whatever. And you can also get a bigger 34 bolt center as well. But the fact that these were 15-inch centers stepped to 16s from factory was like a real kudos. And I was like a complete wheel snob back then. I've actually kind of calmed down on all of that now, but I still maybe one day would love a set of Super RSs for the 930, but you know, we'll get there. So I originally had these fully polished centers and the dishes, but actually I ended up in the end going for powder coated chrome because it's a lot more hard wearing, a lot easier to keep on top of. And even now, I mean, these have been sat for a good while now, but yeah, these definitely need a polish up. You've got to understand this car hasn't actually seen the road for a couple of years, which I feel quite sad about because I do feel like with a car this mint, she does need to be ran a bit more, but you know what? Who knows? But actually when I was getting these split down and the centers powder coated, rebuilt, plus getting the dishes polished, I think it was about 750, maybe 1,000 for all 4 wheels. Maybe it was more than that, about 1,200. I have absolutely no idea what it'll cost on my wheels for the Porsche. Like, it just feels like everything has gone up. So this is another cost that I'm factoring into the Porsche restoration. I know we're definitely somewhere over the 20 to 25 grand mark here. So for all you guys taking the piss out of me going through the garage door, yes, it may hurt for people to find out, but it definitely hurts more when you find out how much it costs. There we go. So if you want an idea of actually what the car used to look like, because I didn't have the money to do absolutely everything, I didn't actually get the underside of the bonnet and the engine bay painted. So you can see kind of how dull and orangey the original paint is underneath here. And you can see all this black here is actually the heat shield that was put on there years ago. This is actually my dirty little secret. Not many people know about this one, but it was just because at the time I didn't have the money. I really wanted to do an engine swap and I had grand plans in my brain because I wanted to do the ultimate engine swap on this. I wanted to do the 4-cylinder S14 engine out of an E30 M3 because that would drop right in. But then I also wanted to do twin 40s. I wanted to do ITBs. I never really got my head together as to what I wanted to do with it. But you know what, one day I do feel like this car deserves to be back on the road. But you know what I do like is if you actually look there, you can still see all the original stickers. This car is original from 1983 and she's still in really, really good condition. I have this dream that one day I'd be able to build a house where in the middle of the house, you know, where they have like the glass box, like viewing boxes, like almost like an art installation. And I would have this car in here because I don't know how old I'll be, in my 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. Whenever I sit into this car, it is like a time machine to being back in my 20s, in East London, bopping about, cigarette on, big sunglasses, big gold hoop earrings, just loving life. I don't regret a single thing from my 20s, and like, this is one of my precious, most favorite heirlooms of that time. And I just think to be able to sit in it when I'm 60 or 70 and just feel like, yeah, we were really doing it back then. It's crazy. You know, if I thought about how much it would cost me to restore this car today, if I add it all up with the wheels, the few little bits that I did, I'd say we're into like 10 to 12 grand's worth of paint. I'd say the wheels are probably $1 grand each corner. I mean, the seats themselves, these are original Recaros out of I think it's an RS Turbo. We had the fishnets on it as well. I know I had to get them retrimmed with the original corduroy Pergamon beige or whatever it was to match in with the door cards. I'd say these are easy $12.50 each. I mean, you're into a 20 grand plus restoration on a $2.5 grand car. That's girl math for you. It's so worth it. Let's go over and see the other car. Close my door. Right, we've made it to Pennings. This is a very exciting day. We're gonna put all the bits into the paint booth because today we're going to put some color on. You don't know how long I've waited for this bonnet to be resprayed. And look, it's ready. Scott, at what stage are we at now? Because obviously last time we saw it, she was bare metal. Then it needed to go into primer. Okay, so it's been epoxy primered, which is basically your version of E-coat. Okay. All new vehicles come out black E-coated to prevent rust. So epoxy primer is what that is. Mm-hmm. Then above that it's got spray filler primer, okay, which takes away most of the sort of inherent ripples and that in the metal. Yeah. That's then blocked back,
high build primered, which
Yeah.
is what you see here. And then that high build primer
touch it or
is
no?
put back. No, don't touch
Okay,
it.
don't touch it, okay.
You get fingerprints in it, and Ollie will go mad.
Okay.
Because then he'll have to degrease it all again.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
So this is the third stage primer,
Okay.
which has been blocked back, high build primers. So Ollie is now going to put wet on wet primer on it. So it'll have its fourth layer of primer, and then colour goes on top of that, wet on wet,
Okay.
as the product suggests.
But why do you have to do these 4 stages? I mean, obviously, is it just to get like the perfect finish?
To get the best straightest finish, because inherently all the metal is not flat and it's not straight from,
Yes. It's
from
a
factory.
1989.
Yeah, so
like,
they're not flat and they're not straight when they came out of the factory 40 odd years ago. So the 4 different layers of primer and then blocking it back, hand sanding with a flat block.
Yeah.
We don't use DAs or anything like that on the custom work. Just gets you the best possible finish when the top coat and the lacquer goes on, and then you get the shine.
Yeah.
Then when you look down the vehicle, it
mint.
looks as straight as it can possibly be.
That's so cool. We've literally just been over to my unit to check out my E21 because that's the last car that I've had painted. And I swear to God, even after 10 years, like you look, like eyeball it down the car and it's just straight as an arrow. It's mint. I'm so excited about this because like there was just a few little imperfections, you know, where like over the years, like on the door, there was a rash here. There's like a little tiny door dent there. Like,
And you see we fixed the deck lid as well.
Oh!
The veins where they kindly cut that bit out
oh my God,
to
yeah, it's
fit
mint.
the intercooler. So we repaired that, and we've actually come up with a very ingenious system just to raise the deck lid slightly,
Yeah.
so it clears the intercooler
That's
just by a
class.
few mil.
So that means
you
I
can-
get to keep all the original 9/4 intercooler, everything like that.
Yeah.
And it's proper. That's class, Scott. That's so exciting. Oh, look at it. It's such a pretty color. It's got almost like, I always think it's almost got like an aquamarine sort of color to it, because when you see it in the light, there's a certain picture. I did a feature with Type 7, and you see the picture going past, and it's like this real almost like aquamarine like green. I'll put the picture on the screen. Look at that. That's so cool.
That's one of the colours that are in it.
So it's a gold. So it is a gold fleck in it.
Got a gold fleck in it, yeah. That these are the two. They're the only two metallics that are in it.
Yeah.
The rest of is a lot of obviously green, a couple of blacks.
Yeah. Because it comes up sometimes in certain
That's it.
in certain lights it can look really, really dark, and then in other, like when it's in full sunshine, it's actually quite vibrant.
Yeah, that'll probably be the fleck of the gold that
Yeah.
makes it go.
Oh, it is so pretty. Look at that action. I bet he's got lovely strong arms. This is where Oliver is about to start putting colour onto the body. She's primed, she's ready. We're about to see the beautiful moss green metallic return to my 930. I'm so, I need to think of another word. Very excited. I'm buzzed, stoked, thrilled, sensationed, buzzing.
So this is him hitting it with the anti-static gun and the an attack rag, just to make sure there's no
Fibres in there.
microfibers or any little particles of dust or anything that might be in the air. So they're removed from the car. And then the anti-static gun stops any further fibres being attracted to the car. Because as you spray, and obviously the air is pushing the paint towards the car, then you can get fibres in the air pushed towards the car, but the anti-static gun stops them from being attracted to the car.
You know, once it's all painted, that many people get it ceramic coated. Is that a thing on old
Yeah, you can
cars?
have it ceramic coated or PPF. A lot of our customers, we spend a lot of money having cars restored and completely resprayed, have the entire car covered in PPF.
But you still get the same finish if you have PPF?
Yeah.
Because I was always worried that, like, you know, I've seen some PPF on some cars that's a bit rough.
Depends where you go and how much you pay to have it done. At the end of the day, get what you
You'll
pay
get
for.
what you pay for.
Yeah.
Pay peanuts, get monkeys.
Exactly.
Also, off topic, the yellow masking tape has done a few things to me in my head. I have been thinking about maybe doing, like, you know, that outlaw style with the yellow headlights. I think it could be a thing. And you know what? Once the car's actually got colour on it, we'll see how it looks next to the paint. And if it's a vibe, we'll make it a vibe. almost like a blue, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see all the the blues and the gold in it. Before it dries, you could tend to see all the different colours in it.
That's crazy, because I was just looking at it then, I was like, wow, like you can really see the gold in it.
Yeah.
It's almost like, yeah, that's actually crazy how blue the green is.
Yeah.
Like the blue, the gold. Oh my God, this is so exciting. You watched it come out and I just had like paint across my face. So I was like, that was the best day ever. So remember when we first looked at it and it's like, it looks kind of like blue with the gold fleck, and then you leave it for a couple of seconds and then like the color starts to settle. That's so crazy. Yeah, like from this side to this side. I've never seen a car like almost like change color like that.
Yeah.
Great job, Ollie.
Thank you.
Loving it, loving your work.
We're not finished.
Only about 3 more times.
3 more times.
Yeah, and then clear coat for about 3 or 4 more times. So it'll be a good 4 or 5 hours before he's done with this.
All right, so that is the first layer of color. He's gonna be in there for maybe like another 3 hours.
At least 3, probably another 3 hours at least.
Because how many times has he got to go over the car?
In total 6, so that's 7 times, different layers of base coat and then top coat lacquer.
Yeah. And you know what, like we were talking about the E21, I feel like the restoration game, how long is a piece of string, right? When I did my E21, it was 4 figures. We're now into the 930, this is 5 figures, but like, how far can you go with this? And like, this isn't what's considered a full restoration, is it?
No, so yours is just an exterior restoration.
Yeah.
Yes, we've done a little bit of internal rust work on the sills and that, but effectively we're still just doing the outside of the car, including the shuts and the boot apertures and the bonnet apertures.
Yeah.
So yours is considered an external restoration.
Yeah.
A full restoration where we would say we've got a vehicle that is a bare shell.
Yeah.
Nothing inside it, no engine, gearbox, no wheels, no suspension, anything at all, just a bare body shell to full build. Depending on how bad the condition is, how much rust work, how much replacement panels, we can be talking 6 figures for a full restoration of that size.
I thought that, but the good thing is my car didn't need to go all the way that far back, because like after everything that you guys were saying to me, I was like, oh my God, like how far do I go with this? And actually what you said was that the car only needed the stage 1.
Yeah, very structurally sound.
I am so grateful to be here today and see that, because like I've never actually seen the colour go onto my car.
Quite excited.
I was so excited. I kept saying that word and I was like, find a new word, Becky. Stoked, buzz, whatever it is. Guys, next time you jump into this video, we will be seeing the car rolling out. I've got a couple more things that I want to do as far as like bringing some parts in, etc, etc. But I'm going to leave it here for today, because I think that's been enough excitement for me. So I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you check out Pennings, as they have been handling this whole situation. Scott, Ollie, all these guys have been making sure they've been holding my hand through this process, and I'm super grateful for it. So I will put all the details for them down below, but you're going to see them again, because we're going to go and pick the car up and we're going to have a great day out. So I'll see you there.